Welcome to the Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank you all for listening. Please subscribe. Please click on the like button. It helps promote my podcast so that more people get to view it. Our Detroit Pistons, 124 to 119 over the Knicks, and it wasn't looking good at times. Cade was in serious foul trouble. Duran fouls out, and our guys, I felt before things started going wrong and Cade got in the foul trouble and things, I thought, I just loved watching our team. We were playing great. I mean, Cade didn't start out the first quarter that great, and anyway, but we have a good team. You just watch our team. We just outplayed them, out hustled them, outran them, and when Cade and Asar and those guys were out there running up and down the floor, we just looked like the better team. And the Knicks are just coming right off a win. They beat the Bucks last night, 140 to 106, and Giannis and Lillard played, and they just blew them right out of the gym. And everybody ranks, the Knicks are way up there, and we beat them like December 7th. And that was when we really started rolling. We've been the third best team in the NBA since December 7th, and Towns didn't play, so it didn't count. But Towns played tonight. He took the ball to the rim, got way up high over the rim. Stu rejects him, and that was so cool to see Stu do that. And then another time he challenged him, and then Towns hurt his hand on the rim. But anyway, it was a great game for our team. 6 players in double figures, but Cade Cunningham, he's going to be all NBA the way he's playing right now. And Tibbs said before the game, Cade's an all-star. And, the only downside is Cade now, so you get the rookie max. The rookie max is 25% of the salary cap. So that's what he gets, not this year, but starting next year it kicks in where he will get. But now, if you make all NBA in one of those years, you get, I don't know if it's 30 or 33% of the salary cap. So he's going to make more. He's going to take away from our salary cap because he's automatically gets more money. It's not even negotiated if you make all NBA first, second, or third team. And he deserves it. So if he gets that money, and it maybe hurts us a little bit for signing free agents, it's okay. But he had 36 points, but he had 29 in the second half. So with a minute 8 left, he gets his 4th foul in the second quarter and comes out. He starts the third quarter. He scores 11 points in like 8 minutes right to start out the quarter, and he was just unreal. He had 18 total in the third, and he was. He scored 11 points in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter, and 18 points total for the third quarter. But 11 points in the first 3 minutes. He just came out smoking. And after the game, he said, "I love thy team." And he's the third player that's ever scored 29 points after picking up their 4th foul. And of course, they have all these stats that they pick up from everywhere. But we also got to talk about Malik Beasley. They call him 3'S, and he didn't play as much tonight as he usually plays. And he started out really hot. He had 4 threes, 4 for 4 right away in the first half, and he was smoking. And then he didn't play as many minutes in the game as he only played like 18 minutes. But at the end of the game, in the last minute, there were 2 times where Cade got doubled. He kicks it over to Hardaway, and Hardaway makes the one more pass to Beasley, and Beasley knocks it right down the middle. And those 2 baskets, those 6 points in the last minute of the game were really the game deciders. But it was a fun game. Again, our guys, they look like a great team. I mean, they've had a bunch of games, but now they're getting confident, they're getting consistent, and I know JB talked about that in the press conference afterwards, how they talk about sharing the ball and trusting each other, and that those two plays to Beasley really reflect that, where Cade again made the pass out of the double team, and and Hardaway, who he loves to shoot, and he made one more, and Beasley was wide open, and he is truly threesily one of the best shooters in the league, and hopefully he was the cool. He was out there shimmering, doing his little shake, and then he was waving to the crowd. He was blowing kisses to the. He's embraced the role of being the agitator for other teams and other players and everything. And but JB talked again tonight about how the spirit that he gives the team and how he lifts everybody up all the time. And so it's really cool to see that. And it was just again a tremendous win for our team. 21-19. I know we were in our first 39 games. Last year we were 3-29, 3-29, and now we're 21 and 30 and 21 and 19 in our first 40 games. So we're almost to the halfway point. One more game, and we will be. And a lot of guys played. Like I said, 6 guys in double figures, and it will be interesting. Everybody's talking about, are the Pistons now going to be buyers in the trade market? My hope is, again, I'm sure you get tired of me saying it. It takes 2 teams to make a trade. So you can have an idea and a philosophy or something that you think you want to do in the trade market and a trade deadline, but you got to get something from the other team. And sometimes you don't know what someone might blow you over with a good offer, and for something that you didn't expect. But I think that my hope is, and from hearing everything that Trajan says, I still hear people talk, and it just is weird that they don't listen to Trajan, that he says we are not in a hurry, and they're not just going to make a trade to make a trade to make us better this year. They want to do something, whatever they do. It could be a big deal, but it's got to be something that helps us be sustained success for the long haul. And right now, I mean, our guys, like I said, the Knicks are one of the best teams. We're playing them in Madison Square Garden, and I'm thinking, they're not going to let Cade go off like they did last time, and he was as good or better with 36 points. So anyway, Asar against the Raptors played 20 minutes. He was 2 for 5, 1 for 2 on threes, and he had 3 assists, 3 steals, and only 1 turnover and 4 rebounds. And that's why you play Asar and you play him more minutes. And it's hard for me, but I tell you, Chuck Daly was the best coach in my lifetime that the Pistons have had, and I still criticized him. Every coach, nobody's perfect, and I'm not. What I think is probably wrong part of the time too. But when we had Dennis Rodman, and he was only playing 20-some minutes a game, and he was just tearing it up, and it was bugging me because he was making so many winning plays, and he just was making such a defensively loose ball steals and rebounds, and he was impacting the game. He was so good in transition, a lot like Asar. And I'm saying, you got to play him more. You got to play, and then finally, Mark Aguirre goes to Chuck Daly and says, you got to start Dennis. And so, he's a prideful veteran that was like an all-star before, and we traded for him. We traded Adrian Dantley to get him, and he was willing to sacrifice because he knew, that Rodman was a bigger difference maker. And still, Mark Aguirre had a big role on the team, but not, he gave up his starting spot because he knew that we were a better team with Rodman on the court. So anyway, he had a good game tonight again. So he was 26 minutes tonight and 4 for 7, 1 for 2 on threes. It looked good, man. 2 for 2 on free throws, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 16 points. That's a game, for a guy playing only that many minutes. Tobias didn't have a great game tonight. He played 36 minutes, but he was out there fighting. Only 3 for 12, 1 for 3 on threes, but it was a big one. He still doesn't have enough arc on his shot that he would be better, but 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 11 points, and he was plus 12, which was like the second best on the team. So, Duran. So we're lucky we have Stu, but of course, and a lot of you guys, and including me, we like B-Ball Paul Reed, and he don't get off the bench. But we are so fortunate to have someone like Stu that, when Duren fouled out, and he only played 19 minutes. But he was 4 for 4 from the floor, and 2 for 2 on free throws, and 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he had a really good game for the minutes he played. But 10 points. Cade, 32 minutes. Again, he would have played more if it wasn't for his foul trouble, but 14 for 27. That's still over 50%. 4 for 8 on threes. Hit a bunch of big threes. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, not as many as he usually gets. And he had a great game. 36 points. 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers, baby. He scores that many points. So he's handling the ball. He's taking it to the basket. He still doesn't get called enough fouls. I mean, he needs to be treated at least with the respect that Jalen Brunson's treated. He just goes in there and falls down, and he gets calls. Brunson was 6 for 8 on free throws. Cade got 2 right at the end of the game. But Hardaway, not a good game. 35, but he gets to play 35 minutes. But he was 4 for 12. He's been on a heater lately. He's been playing great, and he made those good passes tonight, unselfish passes to Beasley. But he had 4 for 12, 2 for 8 on threes, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 points. Stu, 29 minutes. We needed him. 3 for 5, so he didn't score a ton. 0 for 1 on threes. I was glad he shot it. 1 for 1 on free throws. 4 rebounds. He made it and 1. It was really cool. Over Towns fouled him, and it was on a pass. Offensive rebound by Holland. Got an offensive rebound and flipped it to him, and he went up over Towns and scored it. But yeah, early in the game, Cade had an awesome 2-hand dunk driving right through the lane, and like I said, Stu had 2 great dunks. So Stu has 44 blocks on the year, not dunks, and he is second of players off the bench in blocks, and he's doing better. He's getting up high. I mean, those guys are coming in there, and he's getting that right at the peak, and he is timing it perfect. And to do it what he's doing without fouling, and he's only 6'8". He does have freakishly long arms, but he's not a great leaper, but the way he's gathering himself, and he's getting up really high for these blocks. But he had 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, 7 points. He was plus 14, so he had the best plus minus on the team tonight. Beasley, 18 minutes, 7 for 13, 6 of 8 on threes, 2 for 3 from free throws, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 22 points. So Sasser's been struggling somewhat lately, but he came in tonight and he started out bad. And he had 3 turnovers, which is too many. And one time they knocked him down and they took it away, and it was clearly a foul, but he didn't get the foul, and then they ended up going down and scoring. But he was 16 minutes. He was 3 for 5, 1 for 2 on threes. It was a huge, of course, all threes at the end of the game seemed like they're magnified. But he had 4 assists, which was good. He had to play because Ivy's out. Cade's in foul trouble. And he had 7 points, but he had good minutes. Simone Fontecchio only played 15 minutes, 1 for 3, 2 for 2 on free throws. Holland he deserves more minutes. I don't care where you get him from, JB, but he's 14 minutes, 3 for 4, 0 for 1 on threes, and 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 points. Here's the thing that I was a little bit surprised tonight that we started out. Cade was on Brunson, and I want to see Asar guard those guys, and then when Asar comes out, I want to see Holland guard Brunson. So those are the guys I want to put on those elite scores, and not have Cade chasing those guys around. Cade's been guarding the toughest guys on the other teams a lot of times, and of course sometimes he kind of has to guard the guys that are the bigger forwards like LeBron and guys like that are taller, but still Asar can guard those guys. Anyway, funny, ironically, both teams shot exactly 50% from the floor, and we were 44% on threes, and they were 40%, and they outshot us from the free throw line. We were 17 for 18, and they were 24 for 29, and they out-rebounded us by 2. We only had 11 turnovers, and they had 16 turnovers, but that is a great team win. we are showing that we are a playoff team. We're rising up in the standings, and you never know what could happen. We could go on a losing streak tomorrow. It could happen, and especially, the NBA is fragile. You see teams all the time go up and down. The Pacers, we play them next, and they've been rolling lately. They've been playing much better. But you see a lot of teams that go through streaks, and it looks like this team's down and out, and then all of a sudden they bounce back and they have a good streak. And so we got to play the Pacers, followed by the Suns, then the Rockets, who are going to be really tough. We got to go there and play them, and then the Hawks have been tough. We got to play the Hawks and the Magic. They got Monchero back, and they were doing great without him. So we got some tough games coming up, but it's been a wonderful ride. And if you didn't enjoy the game tonight, then I don't know, you're not a Piston fan. So anyway, I appreciate you listening. Be the reason that somebody feels loved. Go Pistons.